Hey everyone, welcome to Lanie Cooks. On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make a simple fish dish called Chim Kho Cai Chua, which is known as fish cooked with mustard greens. Stay tuned. Okay, so for this dish, I have here a whole pompano fish that I got from the Asian market, and I had them clean and cut it for me into 4 steak pieces. And I went ahead and already marinated it with some black pepper, but also I'm going to add about 2 spoons of salt in here. And the reason for this is you kind of want the fish to, the salt and the pepper is going to take away like the fishy smell, fishy taste. So it's really important to like get this part done at the beginning, and when you marinate it, this is the part that's going to get the fish smell away. So you do black pepper and salt and kind of let it sit here for about a good 10-15 minutes. And then after that, we are going to rinse it off before we cook it. So as you can see here, it's real simple. I just did 2 spoons of black pepper and 2 spoons of kosher salt, and you see how it's nicely coated from inside and out. But without this step, it will make the fish smell fishy and taste fishy. So this kind of helps cut that back a little bit. So we're gonna leave that there and let it marinate. So what I have here is a bag of mustard greens already prepared. You can make this yourself. I will have a video on this one day on how to make this from scratch. But as for now, I'm going to use the package that they sell at the Asian store to cook our fish with. So when you get this, what you're going to want to do is I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to drain all the juice out of this mustard green. And then it comes like this. You get like 2 or 3 pieces or so. But we're going to soak it in water. And the reason for this is because if you don't soak it in water, this part will get really tangy and really sour. So if you like sour, you don't have to soak it for long, but I'm going to soak it. Rinse that off. See how yellow that water is? There's a lot of pickled juice here. So we're going to rinse that out again. And then I'm going to put clean water in it. Let it sit for a good 15-20 minutes or so before we start chopping it up and get it ready for our fish, because I don't like it too sour. And this will help get rid of a lot of the acid. Alright. Also, I have here about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 white part of a green onion, 2 Thai chilies, and 3 garlic cloves that we are going to use to cook the fish with. Over here, this is going to be the base of our sauce. We have fish sauce, the 3 Crab brand. I have the sambal. And on the sambal, they have the chili garlic sauce and they have the normal one. And this is pretty flavorful, so I'm going to use this one. And this is for spice and color. If you don't want it spicy, leave it out. I also have ground red pepper, and this is going to be at the end of our cooking to give the fish a little color. And then you're also going to need cooking oil, which I have in here is vegetable oil. And then we are going to also continue using our salt, black pepper, and our chicken powder. This will give the fish a little bit of seasoning whenever we cook it inside the pot. Alright, so I have here some white part of the green onions, and this is what I'm going to use to saute at the beginning with my garlic and the oil. And you don't need to cut these perfectly. This takes place with scallions, or shallots, I mean, that you can use to saute this with for flavor, but it does not have to be perfect because I'm going to end up chopping up small again. Okay. This is what we're going to cook with the oil. Okay. And then we're going to move that back to our plate. While the fish and the mustard green, while we're waiting on the mustard green to sit in the water and the fish is marinating in the salt and black pepper for a little bit, I'm gonna prep these. That way when it's time to cook, we can go ahead and get all this prepped up and ready to throw into the pot. And for the garlic, I went ahead and smashed them. If you guys buy garlic that's in a pod and you know it's easy to peel off, I mean it's hard to peel off, all you have to do is smash it and it comes right out of the shell. So that's a pretty good trick to do. Alright, we're gonna make this real minced up and then put that back in. Like I said, they don't have to be perfect. You want it smaller, you can make it smaller. I'm just making mine coarsely chopped here just so we can cook with it at the beginning to bring out the flavors. And then for the chilies, again, if you don't like spicy, omit this part, but I like our fish a little spicy, so we are going to add some chilies to it. Normally I use 1 or 2, depending on what you like, but 2 seems to give it a little kick. Let's see, I'm going to chop this up again. Okay. Alright, so the fish has been sitting here for about a good 30 minutes or so in the salt black pepper mixture. And then the mustard greens, I went ahead and drained them. And it sat for a good 30 minutes just like the fish. So what I'm going to do now is we are going to chop these up into bite-sized pieces. When I cook this with my fish, I like it to be nice and small. That way you can grab a bit of fish and a bit of green mustard and still get a crunch out of it. I remember when I was younger and we would eat this growing up, it would just be big old chunks and I could barely swallow it. So just help your kids out and just cut them in small chunks. That would be easy to grab, easy to eat. Again, you guys can make this from scratch, and I will have a video on that coming out soon on how to make this fresh from the store. At our Asian store, they sell like plenty of these mustard greens, and one day I want to show you my recipe on making it from fresh greens and letting it sit out and let it ferment for a few days. It's delicious. This is one of my favorite childhood dishes, so if you grew up eating this, you know. Okay, so we have our fish and we have our scallions, the white part of the green onion, the garlic, our Thai chili. I went ahead and added some green onions. We're going to garnish the fish at the end once it's done cooking with green onions. And then we have our pickled mustard greens that I just chopped up real fine and small. Alright, so we're going to move the fish over to our pot. I'm going to use a pot like this. I got this from the Asian store. It's nice and deep. That way we'll have enough to cover up for the fish, enough room. You don't want to use a skillet because it'll overcrowd it and we don't want the fish to not be able to cook. I'm going to turn my heat on to 4, which is like medium high. And we're going to heat this up. And while that's heating up, I'm going to move all the ingredients right over here. Okay. Okay, so I have my oil here, guys, and I'm just gonna eyeball it, but I'm gonna swirl this around my pan. You want to have enough oil in here to saute the garlic and the onion and enough for the fish. So this is about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Just swirl a little bit there, get it nice and coated. And once it gets a little hot, I'm going to move over the scallions and the garlic, and we're going to saute that. And this is like one of my favorite smells. It smells so good. Okay. If you really want to know if your oil is hot enough, you just get a little bit of water and put it in the pot, and as you can see, it's starting to bubble here. So I can go ahead and throw my scallions in here. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, that part's nice and in. Okay. Okay. And we're just gonna swirl this around. It smells so delicious. Once that is nice and cooked, we're gonna add our fish sauce and the sambal. Again, this is sauteing right now on medium heat, medium-high heat. If your stove is numbered like mine, it's on number 4. Okay. Starting to smell real good. So what I'm going to do is take my fish sauce. We are going to add, because I only have 4 pieces of the fish on here, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of fish sauce. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I say 4? I meant 5. Sorry. 5 tablespoons of fish sauce. For this kind of fish, because it's so... It's like already like a fatty fish, you're not going to need a bunch of fish sauce. So, 5 tablespoons is pretty good. And then I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of the sambal. Pretty simple and easy recipe I have here. But, this will bring out the flavor of the fish, and it smells so good already. Okay, we are going to add about 1 spoon here of the chicken powder. Okay, I'm just gonna go back and mix it up a bit. This sauce smells so good. Like you can see, you don't need a lot right here, and it brings out so much flavor in this buttery fish. All right, so with this sauce cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and add my fish. Okay. Just gonna add fish in 1 by 1. This is why you want a big pan, big pot, so that there's plenty of room for this fish to sit. You don't want to overcrowd it, because we're gonna stuff the mustard greens in here in just a little while. All right. Okay, just like that. And then what I like to do is I like to let it sit on one side for a few minutes. And then we're going to flip it, and after we flip it, we're going to add a bit of water to this, just to make it a little bit more saucy. If not, this would dry up a bit. If you like to eat this with bung, which is vermicelli, add a lot of water to it, and then this can become like a broth for you to use to eat with your noodles. Okay? And this fish is pretty firm, so you know, you don't have to put it on high heat and don't have to worry about it breaking, but medium-high heat, well, once this sauce starts boiling pretty good, I'm going to start flipping this over. As you can see here, when it's flipped over, see, it's already cooking right there. Again, this fish is called yellow pompano, and it's yummy and buttery, and at our Asian store, we get this for like $4 a pound or so. You can just ask them to clean and cut it for you. And then I always tell them I want 4 pieces of this. So this is how the pieces look like when they cut it up for you. Cut and clean. Alright, so while that is simmering, I'm going to go ahead and take some water here. I got like a bowl of water here, but I'm not going to use that much. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, just to make sure I have enough sauce. So I have that much water left. And then, as you can see, it's going to sit in this water for a little bit. I'm not going to add any more water, because once you add the mustard greens is going to sit around the pot, and then we'll let it simmer for about a good 25 minutes. And then it'll be ready to eat. So the fish has been simmering for a very good 25 to 30 minutes already. As you can see, we got more juice and a nice color on our fish here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and add some red ground pepper for color. If this is too spicy, you got kids eating and you still want color, you are more than welcome to add paprika too. So we're going to sprinkle that. Look how beautiful that is. Okay. And then I'm going to garnish the rest of my green onions on the fish. And again, if you're not an onion eater, just omit this part too, guys. So I just like our dish vibrant and colorful. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and transfer the fish over into our bowl we have here. And see, the fish pretty much stayed its whole piece. This is what I like about the pompano fish, that it doesn't break. All right, look at that, delicious. And just bathe it over a fish. This is very flavorful, you guys. Easy and simple. We're gonna put it over here with all of our food. So tonight I prepared for the family. We got the pompano fish cooked in the sour mustard green. I have some boiled pork belly, some baby cucumbers, and my fish sauce. If you want to know how to make this, I already have a video on how to make my fish sauce. So make sure you guys check that out, and then click on the link above to the right. And then here is something that, where my region is in Vietnam, if you're going to eat fish, we always have a side of fish sauce with Thai chilies, just to dip it in case you want it spicier, you want it saltier. This is something we always have when we eat fish. So that's just to let you guys know. And I have my rice here. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to break through this piece of fish. Grab me a little bit of pickled mustard green. Okay, let's give it a try and see how good it is. All right. Oh my God, it's so delicious. So good, guys. So be sure to click like, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. Have a good day, guys.